Alrighty, we're out here at OSW, the LS Miata warming up. So it's the class qualifier today. So this is basically so everyone can get into their groups. So like if you want to drive tandem, you have to drive and qualify and they judge you and we'll put you in tandem if they see fit. So I'm really excited about this because the classes could use some changing. There's some people in the advanced tandem that should be in the intermediate tandem. Oh, Daniel's here driving, that's awesome. And then vice versa. So anyway, got Matt the Ginge over there. There's Marco's van. Ben's here, obviously. Should be a party. Hopefully the rain holds out. It shows none on the forecast, but rained on our whole way here. So I don't know. We'll see. The Monster Performance rolling in. Hell yeah. Mega Cab Dually. Pimpin'. Oh, look at that. Part 2. All right, we're going out for the first real drifts in the LS Miata with the electric power steering. Or not even electric, like we're using an electric column. So we swapped in, I believe it's out of a Cobalt. Alrighty, I got the column pretty much completely assembled. So we got, you know, our shafts, this shaft down here, bracket, which I went ahead and kind of pre-bent. Hopefully that's enough. Motor, this is where it bolts up to my steering column mount. This is gonna be our first time drifting with it. Not 100% sure how this is gonna go. Also, sorry in advance for the metal rattling noise. It's my shifter. I'm missing the shifter bushing because I gotta replace another piece and it keeps falling out, so it rattles obnoxiously. I think we're gonna do like basically a solo run first, which is good. Track is a little wet, and I think the layout is pretty much the same, but they actually added some clipping points and outer zones and stuff, so there's a line to follow, not just big wide open turns. I can't tell how wet the track is. Like, it looks damp. Yeah, nobody's making any smoke. It's got to be pretty damp. It's so slick. So far, steering feels good. Oh, it gripped up some there. Oh yeah, steering is fine. Might be a little light, turn it down some. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down maybe even a little more. It's pretty light. That feels a little better. I've already got it turned down a little bit. I forgot to turn I turned my fans off so my car would warm up a little more. I forgot to turn them back on. But I mean, it's still only 183 with no fans running. I just turned them on, yeah. They come on automatically, but I have it set a little too low. All right, so we're about to follow Luke Fink. He's here from Australia for this crazy drift road trip. He's driving Marco's Z. It didn't self-steer like it should. I hope it's not, I hope that was me and not the car. Because that's what the steering did before, where it just wouldn't turn. I might have had it turned down a little too much. That's like my one fear with this steering, is that it would do that. Because basically, like when I go the other direction, the wheel should spin on its own from one. Yeah, and it's not, it didn't do it that time, but that was like kind of an extreme circumstance. I was at like a lot of angle and then tried to flick it really quickly and it just didn't spin fast enough. That's the first time I've spun out and like since I first finished this car when it was doing that. felt better that time. I think I just needed to turn it up some. I think it like needs the power assist to overcome the drag, basically. My electric steering column. The steering feels good at this setting. I need to not ever move it. Oh my God. They slowed down so much. I don't know why they're slowing down so much. Maybe that guy's yelling at him. The steering felt really good that time. Like the last couple times I've drifted this car, it's been basically manual steering and trying to make small inputs. It's really hard. So that I was just like, 2 fingers on the wheel. Oh man, the car is feeling super solid right now. Car is smoking like my Z used to do after a bunch of hard runs. Oh God, oh God. Should be fun. Car's feeling good. We're following Matt. Car is feeling super good right now. Hell yeah. For those of you who didn't see the steering install, it's like I said, it's an electric motor on the column. I've got a depowered rack, so no lines, no fluid. I got this knob down here where I can adjust the basically how much assist the motor has.
Hey, your brakes are squeaky. There's no air in your tires.
That's normal. God, I love this car so much. Oh, I love this thing. I'm so happy with this car, man. The steering is working. Oh, it's so exciting. I was so nervous about it, especially after that spin when it didn't self-steer, but I think that was like half me, half where I had the steering stuff set. Now, is he leaving me? No! No! That's so sad. I was having some good runs with Matt. I don't know what it is today. Like I said, I don't know if it's my steering feeling good or what the hell's going on. Hopefully these guys in front of Huffman are good. It's the only thing that's scary about going like, you know, third, fourth, fifth in a train is, you know, if you trust the guy in front of you, that's great. But if you don't know the people in front of him, it's still a little sketchy. much exactly what I was worried about, especially because the guy that spun was the guy up front. So like you can't see it until you see him spun. You know, I can kind of watch the guy in front of Huffman, but I can't really watch the guy in front of the guy in front of Huffman. Oh, my car is getting hot. That's weird. It never gets hot. Fans aren't on. All right, so I had a little bit of an issue. The fan stopped working. I noticed the car was at 230. This car never gets hot. So I was trying to figure it out, and I finally, so this guy, Jason Kastner, who was here, he had a laptop. Let me borrow his laptop. Let me download the ECU Master software because I forgot to bring my laptop. So I hooked up, it showed a fault code for the fan circuit, so I thought it was something with that. I repinned it to new pins, same problem. Turns out it was the fan wiring. Couldn't find any shorts in the fan wiring. It was the connector. The connector had shorted between the ground and the power side and on each connector, and they were shorting out. So I think now we got it working. I need to double check one more time. Geraldo, Josue, Rice and Beans Parts, saving the day again. And Johnny supervised.
Make sure they know that.
Yeah, of course. I'm going back out. My oil temp gauge stopped working because of probably something that I did with the wiring that I'm not sure of, but find someone to drive with. All right, we got Steven. I love driving with Steven. Super smooth, super clean lead driver. The first time when I first got this car done, I tandemed with him, and it was like my first tandems in this car, so it was really cool. And he was like super smooth and clean, and it was awesome. I DV'd a tire. I was in such a rush to get back out. I forgot to air my tires up. Yeah, I just gotta change them quick. We got what, 15 minutes?
I think so.
All right, change tires. We got a few minutes left. Hope we get a couple of runs in. God, that was so good. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, I made up for all the work I just had to do and stress of trying to figure out what was wrong with my fans. Oh, because that was like 2 hours of just like changing and trying things. Was fun. Got a couple good runs in the session. Now we got one more session. Fans are working, car's staying cool. Steering feels pretty good. It's definitely like a little numb. I don't know if it's because I'm just used to the couple of events I ran with basically manual steering or what, but I mean, as a whole, it felt just fine. Sweet. You ready?
Yep.
I don't think
Amazing!
you've never been for a tandem ride, have you?
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh my god, that was amazing!
it's so fun.
Woo! Holy shit!
Yeah, and that was pretty sloppy too. I'm still kind of getting used to the steering. I'm afraid to I'm gonna dial it back a little bit. He killed these tires. I flipped them because that one was like brand new. Well, this one was brand new. I put it on the other side. I don't know. They might be just be delaminating. It's hard to tell. And there's these, and they just oh god.
Oh shit!
Did it put itself out?
No.
Let me check on my tires while we're sitting here. Whew, that was scary. These tires feel dead, but they haven't popped yet.
Yeah.
Probably do another one. I'll lead and then I'll be slow, so it'll be easier for them to keep up.
Yeah.
Oh no, is Steven stopping? I guess I should change tires then.
Right.
I just wanted to get some more life out of these because they were like pretty toast, but I was like, if I take back one good one, I'll never use it.
Yeah.
Oh, these got grip. Might as well do a test pass. Oh shit. We need gas. I forgot to put gas in. I thought about it before when me and Raldo were going. I was like, oh shit, I didn't put gas in. Hopefully it doesn't fuel cut.
Did it?
Yeah. That's why I straightened out. It just shut down. See if I can use this computer real quick to fix my headlights. No, he's not there. Because I don't know, I mean, unless I accidentally unplug something, they should definitely be coming on. Oh, there's people we want to drive with. No! All right, let me go try to fix my lights real quick then. Because it is kind of hard. I can't really see. I mean, not that they really do much, but... Alrighty, well, we ended up having to call it an early night last night. We were having some issues, some gremlins that I couldn't really sort out at the track. I tried my best. We had the fan issue, which turned out to just be a short in that connector, so fixed that, bypassed that, just quickly wired it up to get back on track, got that working, everything was good, car was running great, no problems at all. I noticed my oil temp gauge wasn't working, thought that was a little weird, so then I went back out for the night session. I had figured that was just something, I knocked something loose or whatever when I was taking the connector on and off and tinkering with everything down there. And I realized my headlights weren't working. And it turns out headlights, taillights, turn signals, brake lights, none of them were working. And those are all on separate circuits. So I was like, okay, well, that's a little weird. And gauges. So I was like, oh, that's a little weird. I don't really think I could have knocked all those wires loose, you know, and I checked, everything looked good. So I pulled up the software again, thanks to Jason for letting me borrow his computer again. This is mine, which I didn't bring to the track. And it says everything's working. So you can see right here, we've got our hazards on, those two, you can see them turning on and off. Headlights, gauges, it shows everything is getting power out and that everything is working, no faults, no nothing. However, none of that stuff is on, and when I check it at the PMU, I'm not getting power out. So not really sure what's wrong. One thing that I did realize when I was trying to figure out, you know, how is this connected? You know, why are all of these out? And, you know, things like my fan, my ECU, my interior lights, how are those still working? Basically, the way the PMU is set up, there is high current outputs, low current outputs. So you've got like 8 25 amp outputs, 8 15 amp outputs. Everything on the 15 amp outputs isn't working. Everything on the 25 amp outputs is. So I'm not 100% sure what the deal is with that. I reached out to someone I know at ECU Masters to see if they could help. They would get back to me Monday. So I'm going to be waiting for that. I sent them an email with a log file and video and all that stuff. So hopefully it's something silly. I mean, it wasn't an issue until I started messing with that stuff. So, you know, I really don't know. You know, it's got to be, I feel like it's got to be something I did or something to do with that. I just don't really, I can't really come up with a reason why that would happen from what I did and changed and messed with. But, you know, you never know. Seen stranger things. But at the end of the day, super happy with the car. The diff mounting stuff, because we put poly bushings back there and redid that and stitched all the subframe and all that stuff, felt amazing. The car was so much smoother. There was no drivetrain slop and smack when you clutch kick, like felt way better. Steering, definitely not the best power steering I've ever had, but totally suitable. Definitely worth the trade-off to not have a pump going bad all the time, or just in general, even a pump with lines and fittings and fluid and all that stuff to deal with. You know, to be able to delete all that, have a manual rack and just have an electric motor under the dash here, totally worth it. So I am super, super stoked on that. I'm so glad that the steering stuff worked out good. I was really, really worried about that, you know, because it took a lot of time and money to get that set up in there, and I was really hoping that I wouldn't have issues with it and that would work like I hoped it would, and it did great. So that is super awesome. So we'll get everything else sorted out, but the car did great. I cannot complain at all. Also got a bunch of good runs in, so I'm super happy about that. Like, I had some really, really fun runs because the car was just feeling dialed and it was a blast. So I had a good time. That's all you can ask for. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this video. We'll get this thing fixed up, but our main priority now is to dive back into the Cummins build. We're going to be pulling the 6.4 out of this Ford and start prepping the Cummins to throw in. So anyway, I will see you guys then, but that is going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.